All right, guys, as we set out in the field, we jumped over here to our storage facility. We're going to walk you through the facility and kind of show you basically how our bulbs get from storage bulbs into the ground, cut into the ground out at our nursery in Wilder. And we'll start you right in here. So coming in here, we have two of our smaller tables here. And these ladies are all cutting either lots that are new development lots or hybrid lots that will go into smaller cages. So we got guys bringing in crates of full bulbs, whole bulbs. They get dumped onto these tables and these ladies are cutting them. And what they're doing, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, is they're checking those bulbs for those perfect single centers. And what they're doing is they're keeping the bottom part of that bulb, which has the root plate intact, and that is the part that actually will go into the ground to create our new plants where our seed is produced from. ¿Listos? All right, so as you see, these ladies are cutting. I'll demonstrate a little bit for you. So basically what we're doing is we're cutting these onions, open them up, we look, this onion has a perfect single center in it. So what we'll do is we'll keep the root part, it'll stay on the table, and the top part will just get thrown away as a cull. So it's a lot of hard work, but basically this is how we maintain a very, very high level of quality onions down the road for our consumers. So this is another just kind of storage room we have here, that like a staging area, I guess. So these lots, as you can see probably behind me, some of them didn't store very good, which is evident by the top growth in the onions that's coming out of the boxes. But we had really bad Stemphylium set in last year, and that basically, as soon as those onions go into storage, that'll initiate that fresh growth out of the onion. So kind of fighting a lot of disease from last year, but all in all, we had a pretty good storage year. But these are all separate lots, and these will all eventually end up out in our nursery in different cages going into the future. So we're going to walk you through a little further here. So the big lots go to bigger cages, obviously, and those lots require a lot of work from our ladies and guys also. So basically what's going to happen is these lots are stored off-site at a separate facility. They're brought over here. We kind of stage them up. Then what happens is they're stored in big crates. The crates will go up onto this conveyor belt and get dumped, and they will actually go down this conveyor, which you can see through there. This is basically just an old converted farm style, 10-wheeler style farm bed that we converted. They'll come down here, they'll actually get dumped onto the conveyor, and we're set up here to size the bulbs if we want to, but right now we're not running that at all. So once they come down the conveyor, come down here, these machines are basically sucking trash off the belt, and that gets thrown outside and dumped. And then once we come in here, the onions are kind of go into these series of baffles. So they can let onions through. If the ladies down at the end need more, they'll go through. But the process is the exact same as we saw outside. They're cutting, looking for that single center, keeping the root plate if it's good. The other stuff gets trashed. Then from here, we just keep on rolling down. And these are kind of our final product that comes through, and this is what will end up out in our cages in the nursery out in Wilder. They'll come down, and from here they're getting boxed up. After they're boxed, they'll be sprinkled with just some standard sand, and this basically just keeps the bulbs fresh. Buys us a little bit of time in case we can't get immediately out to the field. But then we crate them up, put them on pallets. The pallets will then get put onto a truck, hauled out to Wilder, and then we'll get them planted.
What's the time frame for once you cut versus getting into the field?
So typically we try to shoot for no longer than 2 days after we cut a bulb to get it into the ground. Depending on conditions, you can store bulbs if you have the right type of storage facility, probably up to 2 weeks, but around here we try to typically just cut it and get it into the field either that day or the next day.